Hey guys, it's me again, Orcstar. What Ifs. Where we last left off, see, checking. Where I last left off on What If Deku was Killer Croc. He won the hero versus villains that All Might typically put them up to. He achieved this, and he doesn't use a lot of One for All. Remember that, guys. He doesn't really use it. He keeps it on the down low. So, in that instance, he was able to work with who he worked with and was able to win the day. Sorry, I've been gone for a little bit. I got sick. Anyways, essentially, it continues on. We're gonna go to lunch and all that, and my phone's low battery, and I gotta get back to there. Get up here, Samson. I ain't gonna stop you. Come on, boy, get up. Come on, up. Quit just wagging your tail there and just get up here. Come on, get up. He's just sitting there whining at me. Anyways, as I digress. This is going to be a short video, maybe just 10 minutes. Essentially, Deku and them continue on with their days as they go normal. Deku and them are eating lunch with Suyu, of course, being there and all that. As he and Suyu and Deku actually struck up a conversation about the old gang. As you know, Suyu's curious on what happened with all the guys, and Deku gave her what happened. They're at a hero school with a hero that supposedly, I don't know if I said this, but it's pretty much Batman. They don't know his quirk, but they just say he's very intimidating and that he's scary. He is very, very scary. And Deku asks why. He says he took them all out. As she's like, why are they all so scared of him? He's like, well, supposedly he took them out on the first day of training and beat the living snot out of all of them, showing them that quirk isn't everything. As she's like, wasn't Grundy super enhanced and even you would have trouble dealing with him? He's like, yep. It's like, how do you think you would fare against him? He's like, oh, he probably rocked my world. She's like, really? You, the big and mighty whatever, will get toppled by him? He's like, oh, I have no doubt. But hey, nobody in this world's invincible. Everybody runs into the roadblock eventually. She's like, really? Have you run into your roadblock? He's like, too many times to count. She's like, and what'd you do? He's like, I went away, came back, and then demolished it with my bare hands. She's like, really? He's like, yep. It's like, so what, you're really strong and powerful? He's like, yeah, but it's my will that gives me the ability to do things. Like, I was impaled once. She's like, excuse me? It's like, yeah, one day somebody redirected a blow that was meant for them into me. Yeah, it pierced me in my stomach. That was not fun. She's like, is that why you have a massive scar? Yep. As he, pats on his stomach where he was, impaled at. She's like, how are you alive? He's like, I'm tough to kill. And, as they're talking nicely to each other, eventually you got actually a couple people from 1A that actually come over. And then you actually have one person from 1B as Hibara shows up and actually says hello to Deku, introduces herself to Sue. She's like, huh, Midoriya, what's the deal with you and green people? As she's like, well, what do you mean? As he looks at him, and then he's just like, oh. And then he actually laughs a bit. He's like, maybe it's because I'm a crocodile or something. I don't know. As he rubs his head, he's like, so, how have you been, Hibara? She's like, oh, I'm great, Mr. Midoriya. She's like, well, as he cracks his neck, he says, how long has it been? We met at that church, a year or so, a few years ago? It's like, yep. The villains attacked and you actually saved us. He's like, yeah, the heroes had it covered, really. As he stretches around, as he has this massive plate of food in front of him, as eventually more of the people show up from 1A that actually sell hey, Midoriya, Uraraka and Ida. Along with, let's just say, Kirishima, since Kirishima was impressed by Deku. He's like, man, you were so strong, you were able, and you even persevered through the cold. He's like, don't remind me. She's like, oh, I thought my tail was gonna freeze off. Like, is it really that unbearable for you, man? It's like, it's worse. I'm a crocodile. We are not made for the cold. Like, is that true? He's just like, I'm pretty sure it is. Otherwise, I don't know what's wrong with me. So he just shivers at the thought. He's like, oh. Sorry. He's like, even Suyu had problems, didn't you? She's like, I went into hibernation. Todoroki needs to get a better handle on his quirk. He's like, what can you do with ice? It's not like he can just drop the temperature. He's like, I'm pretty sure he could. He just hasn't trained hard enough. As they're all bickering about, that's when you hear the you know, the alarm's going off. As Deku's just like, what's that? As everybody's panicking, and Deku's like, what's wrong with everyone? As then you got a couple, like, your student runs by and says, some wall's been breached. We don't know what's happening. As they're all freaking out and run away, Deku's just like... As everybody's almost getting swept away, Deku essentially says, all you, grab onto me! As he's trying to keep them all together and keep them safe. And also, he was not made class president, since he was very intimidating, but he did make vice rep. As he's yelling at all of them to stick together, as he's holding them, like he takes his tail and actually grabs onto a couple of them. Like, hold it. Sorry. He's like, hold on, all you. See, as he's wading through the bodies, he actually sees some of his people getting, like, elbowed, and it's just like, alright. As he lets a roar out, as it actually shakes the hallway a bit. It's like, all you, calm down. As everybody just looks back at this giant of a monster. It's like, what? He's just like, it's just the freaking press! God sake! I don't know why you're all freaking out! It's a hero school! We will be protected! Worst comes to worst, I will protect you! As he looks at each and every one of these people, he's just like, now calm down! Go sit down! As everybody just sort of does like a little shuffle back to the cafeteria and is like, good! Now keep yourselves calm and enjoy your food! As he's walking away, he's like, God dang it. As he just like rubs his throat, he's like, that freaking roar hurts. As eventually a teacher comes around and is like, is everyone okay? He's like, you had a mass panic and people are being trampled. Thankfully, as some guy pointed out, Midori's like, he was able to get everybody calmed down. He's like, okay. As the students asked, was something wrong? He's like, damn, Prescott. And I was like, yeah, that's what he saw and shouted at us for. He's like, good kid. Well, I gotta get back to class. But as everyone looks at Midori in awe of his like stature and his battle scars, as he just eats the rest of his food in peace. And I think since it's a very small video, I'm gonna be making another video tomorrow. That one's gonna be much longer and include the USJ in it. Anyways, sorry again for a really short video, but short notice. I was able to find a bit of time to do it. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoy this. Guys, continue to enjoy this. I hope you guys have a nice day, nice night, nice life.